This video is published by mbkpinternational.com. In this video, we're going to talk about if your blade gets stuck in the down position on the XPC19 Pro. This would also be for the EC19 Pro V2, version 2. But on this cutter, we're going to do the XPC19 Pro. And typically, if your blade gets goes to the down and gets stuck, or it stops there before it finishes cut, what you're going to do is it could blow your fuse, and if it does, your screen would go blank, the cutter would seem dead, and what you're going to do is you're going to come around here and use a flat common screwdriver. There's a little bitty, unplug your cutter. There's a little bitty groove there, and you stick it in and just kind of pop it out. And the little tray is going to come out. You tip it, one will fall out, so be careful. There should be a spare in there. And these are 30 amp fuses, sometimes they're 25 to 30 amp fuses. They're the short ones, only 20 millimeters long, so they're a shorter one. And this is the one that's giving the machine power if it's any good. And you can just check it. You can see if it's burning there. But I would just replace it. You can put the bad one back there and put the new one that came out in this spot here. So, and then we're just going to put it back in. Slide it back in, and then plug it in. And as long as you got a good fuse, your power should come back on. So we got right there. And basically the first thing you want to do if it gets stuck, and whether it blows your fuse or not, if it gets stuck, is you're gonna reverse it. And on some of these it's already lit up, but you can just and you don't need to push this, but just push it just in case, because some machines don't have this, or some machines you do need to push it. But so let's just push it to make sure. And then you're going to push, instead of pushing cuts, don't push cut, because it'll just end up blowing fuses and it won't go through it. You're going to reverse it, and it's the two center buttons. So just push these two, and it should come up. That's what normally should happen. Now, if it's stuck and doesn't come up, what will happen is a lot of times it will blow your fuse, and that will go blank again, and it'll stay down there. So I'm going to put it back down there. And let's say it blew your fuse, it would not come up. So then what you're going to do is you're just going to take a hammer, and this is just something, sometimes these blades, it's rare, but it can happen. Sometimes these blades can get stuck depending on the situation, what you're cutting, things like that. If you let go of the reasons why it would stop is if you let go of the cut buttons, and before it finishes its cut, you want to hold the cut buttons all the time while the blade's going down, and then when it returns to the top, you can release them. Another reason why it could get stuck is if you're cutting too much paper or if your blade is dull. But in this case, we'll just going to tap a little bit here to see if it is. It's just light tapping. You just don't want to hit this, and you just don't want to hit the blade. Just the black part. Don't hit the bolt. Just light tapping like that, and then you're going to potentially put a new fuse in if you've blown the fuse, and just do it, and then try to reverse again. And I'm not going to do it now because it's just going to come back up and on me. But yours will either come up or it will blow the fuse again. And if it blows the fuse again, we do, if you're under warranty and you have a stuck blade, you can't get up, we can send you some fuses. Or if you're not under warranty, then you can always purchase some fuses from us online. We can get you some more fuses so you can go through some of these steps. Now, if you can't get it by reversing it, I'm trying to tap on this a little bit to break it free because it's stuck on something. The next thing you're going to do is there is a technique you can do by changing some wiring on this and just making it, giving it a little extra power basically to come up. What we're going to do here is we're going to unplug the cutter from power. You're going to need a short Phillips screwdriver for this, at least it's better. These are 6 Phillips right here, and I've already moved them to make it faster. And you can get most of these with the longer Phillips, even these two, but this one will be tough because of the angle, because of this screen here there. So you want a short one right there. And you're going to remove all 6 of those. And then you're going to slide this forward, like so. Again, make sure your cutter is unplugged before you get into this electronics compartment. And basically what I'm going to do is, this one is unplugged. You got these, they all should be numbered, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this one right here, the third one from we'll call this the top here, the third one from the top is typically, there's nothing there on that one. So what we're going to do is, these are the two power posts here. And these, the 4, 5, and 6 are and 7, 4, 5, 6 are all the ones that go to the main motor that would move this. These first 3 go to the clamp motor, so you don't need to mess with those. It's just basically we're going to be taking these 4 off and connecting it to these 2 posts. You're going to go, This is number 9. You're going to take number 7. You're going to just skip one. You're going to go 7 and 5. So this 5 and 7 is going to go to 9. And this 8, you're going to go to skip one, go to 6, skip another, go to 4. So it's going to go 4 and 6 are going to go to 8. So let's do that now. I'm going to take number 7 and number 5 and put it on number 9. And I'm going to take number 4 and 6 and put it on number 8. They're all going to be 3 on one post and 3 on one post there. These will be completely empty. Just make sure they're numbered. If you're not numbered 1 through 9 here, put some little masking tape and number them yourself to where they're numbered, because you got to get them back in the right position once this is done. I'm going to go ahead and pause that while I do this. Okay, before I remove this, one thing I'll show you. It's easier to take this channel off. You maybe will just slide it out, but it's probably going to get in the way there. So what you do is you push on these here, push on them like that, underneath like that, and then you pry up as you're pushing on it. It'll just come off. So basically you're just pushing here on these tabs and prying up, this thing will pop up. When you put it back on, you just lay it and snap it back in place. So I'm going to push and pry it up. And just want to get that off so you can get some more room with these wires. Okay, go ahead and pause it now. Okay, I've taken off this 8 and 9. Make sure you keep these on here, these, so you know where they go and these numbers. Sometimes it's a good idea to just slide these back a little bit so they stay out of your way and you don't break them off or something. These numbers, if you can. So you know these two, 5 and 7, are going to be going to number 9. And depends on the angle of these things. You can tell they're kind of flat and they kind of go down there. Sometimes I like to flip it over to where it's easier on the first one. And then this one flat. Just however you can get them on. You're going to have to back this up a little bit, a few turns. Number 9 and number 8. And just make sure you get it under there. Get the second one under there. Don't get this black plastic pinched on it anywhere. Then you're going to take number 9. This second one's coming out. Let's start this again. Get them both under. And then get 9 on there. I think that's 9, isn't it? There's 9 right there. Okay, I'm just going to tighten it down. That's okay. All 3 are on the 9 post. Now I'm going to take this number 8 and number 4 and number 6 and put it on that post right there. Okay, got it all. I got 9 there with 5 and 7, and I got 8 here with 4 and 6. Hopefully I didn't get those confused. I think it's 4, 6, and 8. Yeah, it's 4, 6, 8, and 5, 7, 9. 5, 7, 9 on this one, 4, 6, 8 on that one. And then just snug it down pretty tight, because there's 3 up there. You want to make sure you get it all, and just all 3 of them are clamped down good. And basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to plug the cutter in with this up. Turn this off first. Make sure it's off and unplugged. You should have unplugged it. And make sure this is off. I'm going to plug the cutter in, which I'll do, and then I'll come here and I'll turn it on. As soon as I turn it on, this is just going to start moving. It will go up, and it will start going up and down if you don't turn it off. So basically it's just going to start going up and down, up and down, up and down. And when it does that, you basically want to wait till it goes up and turn it off. Turn it off right here when it's in up position. And then you're going to put the wires back on in the correct order, and your blade will be up, and you can... The clamp should still be down, but you can reverse the clamp at that time with the reverse button. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it and let me plug this stuff in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and what's going to happen is this is going to start going up and down, and you're going to turn it off when it gets to a good spot to turn off. I'll go ahead. If you leave it on, this is what it's going to do. It's just going to keep going up and down. And just so you know, this safety grid, when you put your hand here, it normally stops blade. It will not stop it during this time, so just make sure no one sticks their hands in there when this is happening. Now I stopped it when it was down because I want to show you that. I just want to show you what it does, and that it disables this grid, so you don't want to be putting your hands in there at all. You're just basically gonna do what I do here, and once you get those wires all right, check them closely, make sure it's all good, and then you just step back here. You don't want anybody around that blade, and we're just going to turn it on briefly. It'll go up, and I'm going to turn it back off right away, right when it gets to the top, which will be pretty quick. So it's just going to be on and off. Just like that, and you'll turn it off when it's part way up like that. You can wait. If it doesn't want to move, you can wait a couple seconds, 2 or 3 seconds, to see if it's going to try to move. It'll probably hum if it's not moving, then just turn it off if after a few seconds it doesn't move, because then it's just stuck, and it's going to have to probably be disassembled to get it out. Either that or your motor's jammed up and it's a bad motor. So basically you can wait a couple seconds if it doesn't come up right away like this one did, just to see, give it a little chance to break free. But if it doesn't, after about 2 or 3 seconds, go ahead and turn it off and unplug it, and contact us for further instruction. But right now, what I'm going to do is it's turned off. I'm going to unplug it again, and I'm going to put those wires back in the correct order. Okay, I went ahead and put the wires all back in the same order. I plugged it in. It's still turned off. I put the wires on first, then I plugged it in. So check all your wires. As you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're all in the right order. That's why you gotta make sure you keep these on there. That one is empty. That third one from the top is empty. And we can just, if you want to put this plastic cover back on, you can just feed all these down into these holes of these channels on the side and make sure they're all in there. And then again, you just snap this into place. Just make sure you don't pinch any wires. Make sure all the wires are down into the slots. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. Give your paper push time to recalibrate. And give it 5 or 10 seconds. You can see it moving here. Once it stops moving, then you can. Now the blade's up, as you can see, and it's not going around in circles anymore. Now I'm going to just hit the reverse, and the blade's going to come up a little bit since I didn't stop it perfectly. But mainly it's just to lift the clamp up. But the clamp won't come up until the blade goes up. So if the blade's stuck, the clamp ain't coming up. So once you get this blade unstuck, then you can finish. It will finish going up. But again, all you have to do is do the reverse with the 2 center, and it should come up. From there, you can take your stack out, whatever you were cutting. I'll leave it there for now. But just put this. Go ahead and turn it back off. Put this into place. You usually have to lift up a little bit there to get on top of this. Crown looser, shouldn't do that, but if you need to, if it's hitting there, you can loosen the screws. There's 2 fillets on each side, and you can loosen them just to tilt it up to get it under here if it's hitting it. But just get it back in place, and then you're going to put all 6 screws back in place. And the way you do that, you're basically going to start all 6 of them. Don't tighten any of them down. Start all 6. Make sure you get them in, because there is some play back and forth or this way just to line up screw holes sometimes. So don't tighten any one down until you get all 6 started. Once you get all 6 started, you can snug tight them all down. And that's basically it as far as what you can do to unstick your blade if it sticks. Again, you know, if you lose power during any of this stuff, you basically blew a fuse and you got to replace the fuse to start over. Just always be careful inside this electronics compartment. Make sure you unplug it from power. Don't get in there without it being unplugged from power. It's not enough just to have it turned off. You have to have it unplugged from power before you get into the electronics compartment. This video was published by mbkpinternational.com.